For the final rebuild of Madden 25 on the channel, I thought we would do something fun. This is gonna be one of the most creative, we'll call it, rebuild challenges I've ever done. Basically taking two of my favorite things to do on the channel, where we are gonna start this with a fantasy draft. However, I'm not gonna be the one picking. We are gonna simulate it and have to rebuild whatever team the CPU picks for us, which is usually an interesting team. And after that, we can only rebuild the team by drafting. No free agency. We're allowed to re-sign players, obviously, but we have to save whatever team the CPU gives us by only drafting. So I'm super excited to get into this. I thought this would be the perfect send-off for Madden 25. But just a couple things before we get into this. Of course, as always, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments any goofy rebuild ideas y'all have, or any realistic ones you would want to see. But most importantly, tomorrow is going to be my first video of Madden 26. So be sure to turn on notifications for the channel if you haven't already. It'll make sure you catch it. You can be one of the first people to see it if you want to. I respond to all early comments, or at least heart them, as long as they're not heinous or something. I don't know. So yeah, be sure to turn on notifications if you want to catch my first Madden 26 video. It should be a good one. And I should mention, I already have the first few ideas planned, and I think y'all are gonna enjoy them. The first few video ideas planned, I should say. But alright, enough of that. That's not what we're here for. We are here for one of the goofiest rebuilds I have ever done. A mashup of all the weird stuff I do on this channel. What pick are we gonna have? Pick 21. Alright. Brock Purdy going ahead of Myles Garrett is definitely something. But there should still be some good players on the board. Did I just draft? Okay, well, I gotta restart the franchise. Alright, that's cool. I forgot what the X button does. That's fun. Okay, now, let's see what pick we have. I hope it's still 21. I know it won't be, but 23. Okay, close enough. Well, that's fine. So let's not do that again. I meant to press Y so I could sort by overall. I want to see the players that were still available. Derrick Henry, Fred Warner. We got some good ones. I hope it doesn't pick a QB with this first pick. But let's sim to the end of this draft and we will see what team we will have to rebuild by only drafting. Okay, we are an 81 overall. I always like to check. Where does that rank? Okay, well, close to the worst. Interestingly enough, the highest overall teams are the Browns at an 83 and the Panthers at an 83 and the Texans. Actually, there are a few. The Patriots, the Cowboys, of course. There are a few 80s, thankfully. Thankfully, we're not the worst. But let's take a look at this team. What are we gonna be working with? Oh... This is a weird team. This is like all players I never use in Madden. The only one I've had in a rebuild recently is A.D. Mitchell in a Colts rebuild on the second channel. Other than that, this is a unique team. A.J. Brown, Dameon Pierce is going to be our running back. Russell Wilson is going to be our QB. And the defense? Ooh. Okay, it's a lower overall defense, but Derek Stingley, Chop Robinson, Peyton Wilson, Tyrese Knight, Josh Sweat, Devontae Wyatt. This D-line isn't great, but we have a couple things to work with here. Definitely some things to work on, but I'm glad we got a couple rookies. And Derek Stingley. You know, honestly, I'm sure this isn't going to age well, but we could be decent in year one. I kind of hope we aren't, because that'll make it feel like I don't have to do much to this team. That kind of defeats the whole purpose of the video. But I guess we'll just get straight into this. I'll rearrange the depth chart because we have a bunch of 4-3 DNs playing 3-4 DN. But this is going to be a fun one, and we'll have to see how good we can make this team by the end of this by only drafting. But all right, let's get to the midseason, and we'll see how we do. Okay, we are 3-3 at the midseason. Not as good as I expected, but I mean, that's fine. Oh, Dameon Pierce isn't doing too great. A.D. Mitchell is our #1 receiver over A.J. Brown is our wide receiver 3. All right. Well, apparently we have some issues to sort out. You know what? Actually, I'm just going to leave it. I feel like this will sort itself out. If it doesn't, we'll figure it out next year. But yeah, we're mid so far. It looks like our defense is actually doing better than our offense, despite being 5 overall lower. All right. But, ooh, for re-signings, Rashawn Slater, Dameon Pierce, Christian Kirk. It was scrolling on its own. That was weird. Kevin Dotson, and then a lot of backups. Not too bad. I've seen worse. Rashawn Slater, we'll re-sign him. Dameon Pierce, we'll see. I've seen him do well in Madden before. Plus, he's only 24 here. I guess he's 25 in real life. Kirk, he's going to be 28. We'll see. Kevin Dotson isn't interested. I'll go player friendly, though. He doesn't take it. We'll just have to see at the end of the year. So very brief mid-season here. Let's get to the end of the year. And this is going to be an interesting first draft. But okay, we end up going 7-10. What happened to our defense? 8th for passing yards allowed. 7th for rushing yards allowed. 28th for points? What do you mean? Did we have the worst special teams of all time? Actually, maybe. Can you check, like, special teams yards allowed or anything? Is that a thing? It should be. I mean, I don't know how I would fix that, but it should be a thing. But all right, let's check out our stats. Let's see what happened here. Russell Wilson was pretty good. I still might move on from him because he's going to regress even more, and he's going to be 36. We're number 7 here. That's something. Did that say only sacked 18 times? Russell Wilson only sacked 18 times. Okay, sure. Maybe the quarterback that knows how to get himself sacked, but almost 1,200 yards for Dameon Pierce, 4.3 per carry. Got better. 1,100 yards for A.J. Brown and 20 touchdowns. Also 1,000 yards for Christian Kirk, 800 for A.D. Mitchell. The blocking was insane. Kevin Dotson allowed 0 sacks. All right, we have to keep him now. But what happened to the defense? Peyton Wilson got a good amount of tackles, 14 TFLs for Wyatt led the team. Sacks, 11 for Sweat, 2 for Chop Robinson. All right, but picks, 4 for Peppers, 3 for Brents, 2 for Chin and Stingley, and then 1 for a few players. Lots of picks, at least. What a weird first year. Dak wins MVP on the Falcons. All right. Saquon wins Offensive Player of the Year on the Bucks. A.J. Brown at 4. Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year for the Bears. No Vikings. Is this defensive playbook good or bad? I can't tell. But Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Cam Ward on the 49ers. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to, I guess, Jahdae Barron. But Peyton Wilson was up there. I'm so glad this is the final video, at least for a while, where the Rookie of the Year awards for the first year are going to be a mess of actual rookies and year 2 players, and we'll have real contracts, and edge will be a position, right? I think. Thank the Lord. I mean, simulation still sucks ass, but whatever. But in the Super Bowl, the Patriots beat the 49ers 24-21. You know, I don't think I've ever seen the Patriots win a Super Bowl in Madden. At least not in Madden 25. I almost said Madden 24. I'm a year behind. But all right, for re-signings, Dameon Pierce, we definitely want back, and re-signings are important because if we don't get these players back here, we can't get them back. So we'll have to overpay for re-signings. We'll go, I don't know if I want to go 6 years, but I guess we have to. He takes it. Christian Kirk, I mean, he did well, but he's 28. Kevin Dotson, I definitely want back. We can just tag him, though, if he doesn't re-sign. He does re-sign. Okay, cool. And then everyone else will just let go, which I guess is kind of risky if we can't replace them through the draft. I feel like it's fair to sign UDFAs too, or else we won't have a complete roster. But all right, let's get to our first draft, and we'll have to decide what we're gonna do with our first pick, because we do have a few needs, for sure. But all right, in the draft, we pick at number 9. Now, this is an interesting draft class. I do see a top 5 talent scouted, Bryce Arsenault. I don't know if we can trade up to get him, but I did see a pretty good quarterback projected to go in the early 3rd round, and I'm thinking we should be able to get him round 2. I don't think he would go super early, at least like projected where he's supposed to go. I kind of said that sentence backwards, but like whatever. But let's see, I focus scouted a couple receivers. They're pretty good. And then I focus scouted a pass rusher. He's a pass rusher in Madden. He's mid. But all right, I don't think we should trade up for Arsenault because we would probably have to give up our 2nd round pick, and I want that QB. Oh, he goes at number 1 anyways. Okay. Now, if he lasted to 5, I would have to think about it, but don't have to think about that. I think we're just going to go with a receiver. Oh, but this is kind of a tough choice. Well, Gabriel Johnson definitely looks better than Martin Marsh, although Marsh is faster. Oh God, don't make me do this. I mean, Marsh is projected to go in the top 5, but I don't love that he is D deep route. I do like that he is a physical receiver with actual good speed though. Should I take the chance? You know what? It's the final rebuild of Madden 25. Let's play it risky. Let's go with Martin Marsh. Surely this won't go wrong. Ranked 13. Okay, we'll take that. The other guy could have been better, but why did I not check if he has a dev trait? Hopefully he has hidden dev. Oh, I forgot. The Vikings don't have any draft picks. Well, maybe this wasn't the best team to pick for a fantasy draft rebuild. I wish fantasy drafts reset your picks. It's stupid that they don't. I didn't even think about that. Well, it looks like we're not getting a QB this year, but that's fine. Wasn't that good of a QB class anyways. Well, I don't know what to do with this pick now. Trayvon Mallard looks fine at running back. Is he, like, horribly slow? No, he's probably not great, but ranked 39 with normal dev, obviously. What an interesting turn of events there. But all right, with our 3 picks in the draft. We made do with what we had. Marsh is pretty good. Mallard is, you know, worth the pick easily that we took him with. And then the CPU actually picked an okay corner. At least he was a 70 overall. Did Marsh have have hidden dev? He does. Okay, good. Who was the other receiver I was looking at? Was it Gabriel Johnson? I mean, he's 1 overall higher. Oh, well. Oh, and he has normal dev. Okay, I guess we made the right choice. We lucked into the right choice. We'll take that. But all right, here is a look at the team heading into year 2. I, again, wish I remembered that we didn't have more picks, but still got, you know, a good receiver. There were actually some decent UDFAs. This is like one of the better UDFA QBs I've seen. I mean, he's a 68 overall, but that's better than the usual 64. We found like a star dev receiver too. We might play him, maybe. Maybe he'll see the field. I don't know. This D-line scares me though. This is not a great D-line. I'm glad Josh Sweat did well last year because we need him to do well again. Or at least hopefully Chop Robinson does a little better than 2 sacks. Hopefully we get some production there. I'm probably going to change the defensive playbook. But all right, that's all. This is basically the same team as last year, just a little bit developed. So let's hope we aren't as bad. But okay, we are 4-3 at the midseason. We'll take that. Russ is definitely doing better this year. Sometimes he does bad in Madden and sometimes he does well. It's hard to know which version of him we're gonna get, and he's been really good here. So do we need a new QB? I don't know. Ooh, Josh Connerly not doing great so far, but oh well. And our pass rush. All right, I think we need a new defensive playbook. I'm gonna wait until the end of the year, but that's not great. What was that, like 8 total sacks through 7 games? But all right, for re-signings, oh, lovely, nobody's interested. Cool. All right, Derek Stingley will go 7 years, 172 mil. He doesn't take it. Fun. Jackson Powers Johnson will go 4 years, 54. That's pretty cheap. Josh Connerly, we'll see. Jalen Petrie will go 5 years, 36 mil. We're at the point where we might as well like re-sign everyone because we can't sign free agents anyway. I mean, not everyone, but a good amount of players. Matt Snell got star dev. Why? He didn't have that when I signed him. Okay, we'll take that, I guess. I don't know if he'll re-sign, but that's something. I thought about doing a lot harder of a rebuild today for the final one of Madden 25. I'm probably glad I didn't do that, but he would have been helpful if we did that. That's all I'm gonna say, because I still might do it at some point soon. It won't be easy though. But all right, I didn't even realize we're coming off 2 losses. Not 1-score games either. We lost 30-21 to the Ravens and 24-10 to the Bengals. Yeah, I don't think the Vikings playbooks are too great. I guess we don't have the best roster, but oh, the Cardinals, they're 1-5 at an 84. I don't know. We'll definitely change the playbooks at the end of the year if we're bad. Oh, okay. We actually make the playoffs. We only go 9-8, but we do make the playoffs despite only having 3 picks in the draft this past year. Russell Wilson, okay, not as good as in the first half of the year. Still only sacked 21 times though. That's wild. Damian Pierce was pretty good. AJ Brown almost 1,400 yards. Not much outside of him though. Marsh wasn't amazing as a rookie. Josh Connerly wasn't great, but the rest of the line was. Now, is that only because we have Russell Wilson, or is this O-line going to be good when we move on from him? I'm pretty sure I know the answer, even though I don't want to accept the answer. But Peyton Wilson, 112 tackles of the team, 15 TFLs for Wyatt and sacks, 9 for Sweat, but 4.5 for Wyatt and Knight, 2.5 for Chop Robinson. He is awful. Why? But 4 picks for Stingley and Petrie, 2 for Wilson and Chin, and 1 for Peppers. Dak wins MVP in back-to-back years on the Falcons. This game is something else. Saquon wins back-to-back Offensive Player of the Year. Players of the Year, whatever. AJ Brown, number 8. Defensive Player of the Year, no Vikings. Marsh, number 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year, though, and that's all. But all right, it looks like our defense actually was good, but our offense wasn't. I mean, our offense hasn't been great either year, so that's probably a playbook we should change. The defense is confusing, though. Statistically, it looked pretty horrible. Where did we rank for sacks? I want to see that. Okay, we were like 9th from the bottom, so that's like 23rd or something like that. Not great, but somehow was still a good defense. But all right, we're gonna be taking on the Bears in the wild card, a division rival. What are they looking like? I feel like I haven't seen who their QB is yet. It is Matt Stafford. Okay, of course I have Micah Parsons, Lad McConkey, Derek Brown. That's a scary D-line. Ed Oliver. Did they draft another D-lineman in the first round or something? Okay, I don't think that was necessarily a need, but sure, whatever. But all right, let's see if we can beat beat the Bears in the wild card. Technically, we deserve to, I guess. We're the higher overall team. They only have an 81 overall offense. So let's see. We get smacked 34-13. Okay. Let's change this offensive playbook. We put up 13 points. But all right, it looks like we had the Tom Brady Bowl in the Super Bowl. The Patriots make another Super Bowl. They lose this one to the Bucks, though. Don't know what's gotten into the Patriots here, but maybe we should think about using their playbooks. I don't know. But all right, 4 re-signings. Good Lord. I mean, it's not too bad, but if we lost Derek Stingley, that wouldn't be fun. We would have nobody on defense at all. I mean, we'll go very player-friendly. I wouldn't imagine he's going to take it, but maybe if we up it? He does. Okay, good. And then Connerly, I'll go player-friendly. I'm not going to go very player-friendly, though. He doesn't. How much is the tag? 14 mil? We'll do that for 1 year. I mean, why not? We have so much cap. Might as well re-sign. I mean, Cam Akers probably doesn't even play well. Do we need anyone else here back? Disley? I mean, it's kind of the same deal. Like, you might as well. Do I really want to pay him 2 years, 22 mil, though? He doesn't take it anyway. Okay, that's fine. Like, it doesn't matter. We have the cap space, but just the idea of it, I didn't love. But all right, let's get to the draft once again. We actually have our picks this year, right? Okay, we do. Good. At least most of them. So let's get to the draft, and we'll see what we can do. But all right, we pick at 20 this year. Not quite as good as last year. What also isn't quite as good as last year, and last year it wasn't even great, is the quarterback class. This is a rough one. We might take McDermott round 2 if he's still there somehow, but I'm not taking him round 1. Honestly, this draft class doesn't look phenomenal. Sutphin's only a 2nd to 3rd round talent? Really? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Anyway, let's get to pick 20. Not gonna trade up or anything, and we'll see who's available. Okay, Antoine Donnell is still here at tight end. I rarely ever pick tight ends early in Madden, but we might do that here because he looks pretty good. Is he gonna have normal dev? I have no idea. Hopefully not. Hopefully he has hidden. But yeah, I think he's gonna be the pick. Let me check, like, just to make sure there isn't a top 5 talent lineman or anything. At least that I can pick out. Ooh, Skillin might be close, but his finesse isn't great. Skillin looks pretty good. We really don't need a guard, but we still might have to take him. You know what? I think that's what we'll do. We will need a tackle soon, and we can probably just go with a blocking tight end, honestly, like McCoy or something in the next round, or round even later than round 2. Yeah, you know what? Let's go with Skillin. Is he amazing? Kind of looks like it. I wish he had a little better finesse, but it might not even be that bad. We'll take him. Rank 2, got him at 20. Pretty good pick there. But all right, now in round 2, are one of the QBs still here? McDermott is. I said if he was still here round 2, I would probably take him. Do I actually want to, though? Or should we just wait for an actual decent QB? But like, the thing is, if there even is a decent QB in the future, will we even be able to draft him without having to trade up a massive amount? I don't know. Plus McDermott's only 21. He has a strong arm, so he could have hidden. I wouldn't bank on it, though. And I don't really know what we would do with this pick if we don't take him. I guess Donahue could be a pick, but we might be able to get him round 3, maybe? We maybe should take Donahue, because our D-line kind of sucks. No, I can't help myself. We're gonna go with McDermott. I like the elite throw power. Doesn't look amazing, obviously, but he's interesting enough. Ranked 57, got him at 52. I'm more than fine with that if it's a QB. Normal dev, damn it. But we'll think about starting him immediately, because Russ wasn't great last year. Like, 28 touchdowns to 12 picks for Madden isn't that good. Keyword for Madden, or keywords, whatever. And then round 3, let's go with a blocking tight end. I mean, we maybe could even wait, but let's see, who's better, Blackburn or Langford? Probably Blackburn. I see a few B's for Langford. Blackburn could have one, but there's a better chance these are A's. Looks pretty good. We'll take him. Ranked 75 for a blocking tight end. We'll take that. Hidden dev. I feel pretty good about that pick. I mean, he's a blocking tight end, but best believe we're going to use him as a receiving tight end, because overall doesn't matter. Ooh, a slot receiver with hidden dev? I thought that said 6'9", 5'9". Okay, this might be the best slot receiver I've ever picked, at least like a projected day 3 one. Ranked 56, hidden dev? Cool. I wasn't even going to show that pick, but sure. Oh yeah, I kind of forgot we needed D-line. Are there any decent ones left? Probably not. Oh well, we'll figure something out, maybe. But okay, here is how we did in the draft. Kerry Skillin is an 83 overall. Immediately the number 6 ranked right guard in the league before he's even played a snap. What a pick that was. Can't wait for him to allow 8 sacks from right guard this year, because overall doesn't mean anything. But Toby McDermott, 74 overall. He's a fine QB. Wasn't technically worth the pick, but the positional value was. Wearing yellow sleeves. That's unique. I don't know about that that one. But Danny Blackburn, again, not well, no, he was technically worth the pick, but because he's a blocking tight end with probably X factor, he was very much worth the pick. So this was a very good draft in my opinion. We'll probably start McDermott because why not? Also, I don't want to talk about the Scarborough pick. I just took the 3-4 D end with the highest power moves. It said B, it's a 70. All right, man. But yeah, overall, very good draft. Oh, there was an 85 overall corner. That might be the best corner I've ever seen for just strong draft classes. Overall, this wasn't that good of a draft class, though. Only 3 80 pluses. Now, 2 of those 80 pluses were very high 80s, but we did pretty well, I would say. But all right, here we are heading into year 3. Still only an 83 overall. I guess we've only had like 1.5 drafts so far, but we should develop a lot this year with, 3 rookies starting on offense. I guess 4. We're gonna also start Richard over 80 Mitchell, because I guess they're up to the same overall, at least with morale, and obviously Richard is a rookie and has hidden dev. So we'll see how he does. I guess the biggest question is, how will Toby McDermott do? He is only 21. That's probably the best part. I wish he had hidden. I would even take star, but it is what it is. Maybe he can get that if he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. I wouldn't complain. But here's the defense. Only an 81 overall. I don't love this defense. Jalen Petrie did get superstar dev, so that's cool, but I think that's the only dev trait we've gained so far on defense. Don't love that, but it is what it is. Still looking for another D lineman. Don't love this pass rush. Was one of the worst, but hopefully it plays better this year, because it should be a little better. Maybe not great, but better than it has been. But all right. I do want to check one more time. I guess this will only be the second time I've checked, but where do we rank for overall? Are we mid? Ooh, we're kind of down there. Oh, we might be tied as the worst overall team. Uh-oh. But, we should develop this year, at least. I didn't realize we were that bad, though. So if we make the playoffs, that would be an upset, a surprise. So hopefully we do. But let's get to the end of the year, and we'll see what happens. Not end of the year, mid-season. You know what I mean. Ooh, okay, we're playing like one of the worst teams in the league. We are 2-4 at the mid-season. Not great. What's the issue? Hopefully not QB. Okay, it doesn't look like it's QB. I don't want to have to draft another one. McDermott's doing pretty well for a rookie on not a great team. What's the issue though? Okay, I found the issue. Slater and Connerly suck. And our pass rush is about as good as it's been, which isn't very good. We at least have a lot of picks. Stingley already has 4. He's on pace for what, like 10, 11 if we've only played 6 games? But all right, for re-signings, we are definitely not bringing Josh Connerly back. Jabril Peppers, I guess we'll re-sign. He's been good. Did he gain superstar or did he have it? I don't remember. But Josh Sweat, our one decent pass rusher, will go 5 years for a soon-to-be 30-year-old. Surely that won't go wrong. Julius Brents will re-sign. Tyrese Knight, I guess. We gotta start being careful with money though. But all right, that's all we're gonna do for now. Let's hope we can bounce back, but I would take a tank. I would be okay with that. So we'll see how we do. Ooh, but okay, we go 6-11 in year 3. Not great, but maybe deserved. That's a lot of 9-8 teams and an 8-9 team in the playoffs. Go figure. But Toby McDermott wasn't bad. 3,900 yards, 38 touchdowns, 15 picks. Not a great completion percentage though, and sacked 47 times. All right, Dameon Pierce was pretty good for how few carries he got. AJ Brown was good, but honestly, I expected better with this playbook. Richard was decent. Marsh was decent. Great. I love our 95 overall pass protector left tackle allowing 14 sacks. That makes sense. Thanks, Madden. All right, well, we'll let Josh Connerly go. Kevin Dotson wasn't great. Well, he was playing left guard, so whatever. But Peyton Wilson, 144 tackles. TFL's 12 for Wharton led the team in sacks. 7.5 for Robinson actually led the team. 7 for Wharton, 5 for Sweat. Okay. And Peyton Wilson led the team with 7 picks. Stingley didn't get 1 after the first 6 games. And then 2 for Petrie and Chin. What a shit show. What a season. Was anything good on the team? Did anything go well? I guess McDermott was good and Pierce was... We had pieces, but the blocking was a disaster. The pass rush still wasn't good. I guess Peyton Wilson did well, but I don't think we had many picks in the second half of the year. I think he was the only one. Fun. Josh Allen wins MVP on the Colts, though. Finally not Dak. Of course. Wan'Dale Robinson wins Offensive Player of the Year for the Falcons. I don't know why he always wins Offensive Player of the Year at least once in a rebuild, but that's just Madden for you. But Peyton Wilson takes Defensive Player of the Year. That's going to be an expensive contract. Or did we already re-sign him? I don't know. But Toby McDermott, thankfully takes Offensive Rookie of the Year, Richard at 3, Blackburn at 4, and then Defensive Rookie of the Year, no Vikings, L. But all right, let's get into the offseason once again, and even though we went 6-11, we got a couple awards. McDermott's up to an 81 already before he even got rewarded for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'm feeling decent, even though we just went 6-11. I still don't know if our defense is good or horrible yet, though. Okay, it was pretty horrible this year. We had a bad year, a good year, and then a bad year. I'm changing the defensive playbook. Do we go full Bills? I mean, there would be no more fitting rebuild to go full Bills than the final rebuild of Madden 25. I'll have to change the defense around a lot, but that's fine. Should be better, though, I hope. But all right, for re-signings, I don't know how many of these guys are going to be back. We might not bring any of them back. Connerly was horrible. Then it's depth. Lloyd Underwood, he's kind of developed, but also he's expensive, so never mind. But all right, let's get into free agency, I wish, but let's get to the draft once again, and we'll see what we want to do. Definitely need a right tackle, but other than that, we'll probably just pick BPA, because why not? But all right, in the draft, we pick at number 3. Now, this is an interesting draft class. It looked like a much better QB class this year, unfortunately for us, but I mean, we already got our guy. He did well, so that's fine. Now, here's what I did. I had our 3-star scout as QB/safety, just in case our QB did well, and he did, so I set it as safety. And there is Jermaine Mitchell, a top 5 talent safety out of South Carolina. Can we get him in the second round? I hope so. I feel like this could be a tragedy where he goes 1 pick before us. Usually I like to, if I see a top 5 talent, I like to give him a 15 pick buffer. So I'm feeling like he'll go around 32. I hope not, though. I hope we can get him. Hopefully he lasts to 35. But with this first pick, I focus scouted some tackles. Devin Ward looked like a really good tackle. He is a top 5 talent. I don't know if we can get him, though. We would have to trade up, probably. Although, I don't know. If he doesn't go at 1, it might not be too bad to trade up to 2. He doesn't go at 1. Do the Rams need a right tackle? They don't, apparently. They have 31-year-old or 33-year-old Laramie Tunsil and JC Latham. Okay. I don't know what an 81 is ranked anymore, but they're both 81s. They go Ward? Really? All right, well, I also focus scouted Montgomery, who's decent, and Oliver, who isn't great. I might go Montgomery. I mean, he's not bad. Not really worth the pick, but I don't really see anyone else here worth picking. Now, we could trade down, but if I do trade down, I don't really see another great tackle. Is there a great guard? I don't really see one unless Benjamin's better than he looks. He doesn't look bad, though. All right, well, I think we kind of have to go with Montgomery, even though he might not be amazing. He does have elite strength, though. 40 bench reps. Yeah, we'll take him. Rank 18, got him at 3. Normal dev, though. All right, we've been really unlucky with dev traits, by the way. We did get superstar on Skillin, but Blackburn only had star. McDermott had normal, went up to star, thankfully. Richard only had star, and I guess that's it. Am I forgetting any? I don't know. That's unlucky. But all right, round 2. I don't see the safety off the board yet. He is still available. Okay, good. Jermaine Mitchell. This should be a good pick, at least. I sure hope he has hidden. Ranked 5, got him at 35. Does have hidden. Okay, good. Probably just star, but I mean, I'll take that. But all right, round 3, I still see safeties. What else do we need? Should we go with a D lineman? I mean, Scott doesn't look great. Okay, maybe we won't go with a D lineman. We kind of need a linebacker. Is there a good run stopper? Donaldson looks pretty good, maybe. I wish he had better pursuit, but we'll take him. Ranked 35, normal dev, obviously. And is there any massive need I'm forgetting? I don't think there is. I hope not, at least. We could go with another tight end, though. Yeah, we should. We'll see if we actually can get an X-Factor blocking tight end. Round 4 is kind of the sweet spot, feels like. Okay, there are a lot more this year. Well, we have 3 to choose from, at least, with A awareness. There's Bradley, Johnson, and Holcomb. Probably not Holcomb. I guess Johnson's the safer bet, because he at least has 3 guaranteed A's, and he's only 21, and it looks like he's probably the strongest. All right, we'll take him. Rank 55, got him at 99. Hidden dev, please, superstar or X Factor. We need it, desperately. Hell, we can take a third one if we really want to. We only have 1 tight tight end on the roster. Holcomb's the only one left, and he's already 23. It doesn't look bad, though. Probably not great. Rank 133, that's fine. This wasn't the best draft ever, but we got kind of unlucky. I just wish Ward didn't go one pick before us. That would have been an amazing draft. But here's how we did. Montgomery is a 78. We kind of had to take him. Was there another decent option on the O-line? I'm sure there was somewhere, but I didn't really see one. Ward was an 81. He was good. Let's see. Oh, I did miss one. Shaquem Snell, 80 overall right tackle. All right, well, that's unlucky. Okay, so maybe we didn't make the best pick there, but it is what it is. Got one top 5 talent at least. Mitchell's an 81, so we'll take it. Overall, pretty good draft. So let's get into year 4. Unfortunately, it's going to be 2027, so I wouldn't be surprised if we start 1-5, but hopefully we bounce back after that. But all right, here is a look at the team heading into year 4. We're looking better. We're up to an 86, 89 offense, only an 83 on defense, though. But, you know, let's focus on the positives. This offense should be one of the best. We're going to start Montgomery at left tackle. I moved Slater over to right tackle because he was horrible at left tackle last year, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know, he was great the first couple years, but we'll see. If he's bad at right tackle, then we might move him back, or if Montgomery is bad at left tackle, we'll maybe switch him. I don't know. Just trying stuff out here because we allowed 47 sacks last year. I feel like that's understandable. But this should be a much better pass rush this year at least. Probably not as many picks, but should be a better defense, I would hope. Can't guarantee that, but I would hope. I mean, it was 29th for points allowed. I would hope it's better. And hopefully Jermaine Mitchell does well as a rookie because we kind of need him to. I do want to check once again, though, where do we rank for overall? Hopefully pretty high up. Okay, better than last year. We're not the worst anymore. We're not the best, but we're not the worst. We'll take that for the limitations we have, which is we're literally not allowed to sign free agents. I feel like the longer we go in this rebuild, the better it'll be, because the other teams will start becoming broke, and we won't really have that issue, or at least we shouldn't. But anyway, let's get to the midseason point of year 4. I'm not expecting much, because it is 2027 after all in Madden, and that's the cursed year, but we'll see. Could surprise. Ooh, okay, never mind. I guess we got our down year out of the way last year. We are 5-2 to start the year. We will take that. Ooh, the O-line's still not doing great, though. 17 sacks through 7 games. Okay. Kevin Dotson, what happened? I guess we'll switch Skillen and Dotson. I thought the issue would be Montgomery, but it really isn't. It's just our guards. Okay. Our pass rush is a little better this year. Looks like more players have gotten multiple sacks at least. The record's better. The numbers don't look a whole lot better, though. But if the record's better, that's all that really matters. All right, let's switch Dotson and Skillen. Let's hope that's a little better and not worse, but you never know. We have a linebacker breakout, though. I would guess Tyrese Knight, but I mean, maybe not. It is Tyrese Knight. I accidentally clicked something too quick. Okay, well, 5+ tackles in a TFL. That's not too bad. If he hits that, I'll show it. If not, we'll just get to the end of the year. But, oh boy, we have a few re-signings. Not as bad. I'm always scared to look, but it's not too bad this year. Chop Robinson, Tershawn Wharton, Devontae Wyatt, and that's it for starters. We'll see if we even want any of them back because our D-line has been kind of horrible. Wharton's been pretty good, though. We'll bring him back, but for now, that's it. But all right, let's get to the end of the year, and let's hope we can keep up this good record. Okay, we tried our hardest to miss the playoffs, but we barely squeak in, going 9-8. What happened? How bad was the O-line? Because that's my first thought, of course. Oh, never mind. It was good. Only 29 sacks allowed. We only allowed 12 more through the last 10 games. But McDermott was a monster this year. 4,400 yards, 43 touchdowns, 14 picks. Damian Pierce is starting to slow down, though. That's not what you want to see because you can't really draft running backs in Madden. I mean, you can, but they don't do well. Why is he slowing down, though? He's only 27, and he hasn't really been used that much in his career. I don't know, but A.J. Brown was very good. Marsh was solid. Ethan Johnson as a rookie was pretty good. Does have superstar. Okay, good. But let's see. Blocking, Skillen wasn't great, but the rest of the line was pretty good. Definitely looks like switching the tackles worked out very well. And then Peyton Wilson, 112 tackles of the team. Have we had a different tackle leader every year? Actually, no. I think it's just been alternating or something. But TFL's 16 for Sweat and sacks. 10 for Robinson, but only 6 for Sweat in the Bills defensive playbook. What happened after his first year? Where did that player go? He's been kind of downhill since. Whatever. But picks 4 for Stingley, 3 for Petrie, 2 for Wilson, then 1 for a couple players. This has been a very Madden 25 rebuild if I've ever seen one. McDermott, number 6 for MVP, though. We'll definitely take that. A.J. Brown, number 3 for Offensive Player of the Year. McDermott at 7. Ethan Johnson at 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I was hoping he could win it somehow. I figured he wouldn't, though. Unfortunately, it goes to a division rival, but whatever. And then Mitchell at 4 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Someone at 10. I closed out too quick, but it was 10. Who cares? But how are we looking for dev traits? Okay, well, at least we got Johnson. Holcomb only has star. Let's see. Mitchell has X Factor, though. Okay, good. Finally, we got an X Factor in this rebuild. Took a while, but we got one. So we're looking good now. Up to an 88 overall, 92 offense, 85 defense. Still only went 9 and 8, though. Our defense was not good still. Where do we rank for overall, though? We're kind of up there now. The Patriots are an 89. The 49ers are an 89. The Bucks are an 89. So we're tied for 4th with a bunch of teams in overall, it looks like. So we're still having defensive issues, which I guess is fair. It's not that good of a defense on paper. But all right, we are going to be taking on one of the higher overall teams here, the 49ers at an 89. Can we beat them? We lose 28-14. We still do not have a playoff win in this rebuild heading into the final year. Good Lord. But all right, this is our final shot. Year 5, this is where I like to cut them off, so it's either Super Bowl win or nothing in the final year. Adds a little more, you know, intensity to the final season. Gotta win one or we don't get one at all. This would be the point where, you know, I would say, let's sign some free agents, let's trade for some players, but obviously can't do that. But all right, for re-signings, we definitely need Chop Robinson back. I mean, we might as well re-sign him. What else are we gonna do with this money? We'll go 5 years, 166. That is not worth how he's been playing, but sure. Marsh, I guess we'll pick up the 5th year. That doesn't really matter, though. Chin, I mean, we might as well re-sign, because again, what else are we gonna do with this money? A.D. Mitchell, I guess same deal, but he's not interested and I don't really care. He does re-sign, though. Okay. And then the rest of these guys are super replaceable. I guess Radens, because like, okay, never mind. I was gonna say we don't have any backup linemen, but we still don't. Devontae Wyatt, he's been a good run defender, but he has not been a good pass rusher. He re-signs, but ideally he'll be a backup this year. So let's get into our final draft. We've kept this team together pretty well. This still definitely resembles the team we started with here, but let's draft some D linemen. That's for sure. But all right, in the draft, we pick at number 20 once again. And I don't know what we're going to do this year. Unfortunately, this does not look like a great D-line class, that's for sure. I mean, there's JJ Sally. I guess we could trade up for him, but I don't know. There is Clayton Watkins. If he lasts to 5, we'll have to think about it. It would be expensive as hell, but we'd have to think about it. Perkins doesn't look bad either. I mean, I'm always bad at scouting defensive tackles. They're never as good as I think they are, but they look pretty good. Let me see. Where is Watkins gonna go? He's still there at 5. How hard would it be to trade up? Because we don't really have any other needs. What do they need? They need a center. We couldn't really give that up. They needed D tackle. Well, we do too. So I guess they probably wouldn't want to move off this pick, but what if we give them like Devontae Wyatt in a trade? But all right, we are gonna give up our 1st round pick next year. I'm realizing I forgot to add a pick in here, but I wanted to add I guess I didn't even think about it. I think a 3rd-ish, but a 1st next year, Devontae Wyatt, and we'll add a 3rd for the 5th overall pick. Let's give him the 3rd. Almost simulated the pick. I was like, all right, let's get to our pick. I'm super smart, by the way, but Clayton Watkins out of Wisconsin. He looks pretty good. He ran a 4.69 at 300 pounds. All right, ranked number 1 in the class. Yeah, pretty clearly. Hidden dev, 83 speed, 85 excel at 300 pounds. Sounds good. But he ran a faster 40 time than Jake Bobo, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, gotta love the 27-year-old QBs. This guy looks great. Why are the 27-year-old QBs always horrible? Like, you would think they would be like, you know, a 76 or something. Just probably normal dev, no real potential. But this dude's probably like a 60-something. Like, he looks terrible. But all right, anyway, let's go with... Should we go with a lineman? There isn't really a crazy good one. Let's go with one more D lineman just to, you know, sure it up even more. Juwan Burks out of Michigan. He looks solid. Ranked 45. We'll take that. Does actually have hidden. I thought for sure he would have normal, but good pick. We'll take him. And pick 420. Okay, not really any great linemen left, but we'll go with Aaron Harris. Sure, fine. Rank 86. Got him at 116. We'll probably even take another lineman. We need depth pretty bad. Oh, this guy looks good. This is gonna be my final final pick of Madden 25, Aries Cohen. Don't disappoint me. Not the best awareness, but he has some pretty good ratings. Ranked 68. Okay, I'm a little disappointed, but I mean, he was worth the pick, so whatever. Of course, my final pick of Madden 25 is a normal dev player. But all right, here is how we did in my final draft of Madden 25. Clayton Watkins is an 85 overall. He is even better than I expected. I thought he would be like an 81 or something. I didn't think he would be the best player in the class. I guess that was before I checked his 40 time, to be fair. But he has 91 strength, 92 tackle, 88 power moves, 83 speed. Good lord. Honestly, seeing those ratings, I'm surprised he's not even a higher overall. But Juwan Burks, he's solid. Aaron Harris, he's solid. And Aries Cohen is fine. The CPU picked a decent corner. So overall, very good draft. Again, got the best player in the class. We'll take that. But all right, here is a look at the team heading into the final year. We are looking pretty good. 88 overall heading into the season. We've done well for only being able to draft after the interesting team the CPU gave us. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. I like how the defense is looking for the first time, it feels like. You know, we actually have some hope. Looks like Derek Stingley finally got superstar dev. We'll take that. This offense should be one of the best in the league. Should be even better than last year, I would hope. With a little bit of development. I'd be really disappointed if the final season of a Madden 25 rebuild on the channel is an underperformance, but we'll see. We've had one so far where we went 6-11, but usually if it doesn't happen in 2027, it happens in 2026. Let's hope it doesn't happen in 2028. Really, all we can do is hope. So let's just get straight to the end of the year. This should be a very good team, and we'll see what happens. But all right, here we are at the end of year number 5, and if you've seen one of my videos before, y'all know why we're here. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe, all that good stuff. No question of the day today, because I don't feel like coming up with one, but let me know down in the comments what goofy rebuild y'all want to see next, or realistic, or whatever kind of rebuild. Let me know, and if I use your suggestion, I'll give you a shout out. Y'all know the deal. But at the end of year 5, we are up to a 90 overall, 92 offense, 88 defense. This is the best defense we've had so far, I think. Oh yeah, and Watkins obviously has X Factor. But in our final season, we ended up going 9-8 once again, and we barely snuck into the playoffs. Our defense got better, but I'm still thinking about changing the defensive playbook. I guess it isn't a good defense on paper, but usually that doesn't matter that much in Madden for some reason. Let's see, McDermott was good, definitely worse blocking this year though. Dameon Pierce was fine, AJ Brown was good. He's been consistent 14 or 1500 yards every year. Where does he rank all time? He's gotta be like up there now. But ooh, okay. Ooh, Montgomery was pretty bad. I started Aaron Harris. What I did is I switched the guards again. I put Skillin at left guard and Dotson at right guard, and that really worked out. But Powers Johnson was horrible at the midseason, so I benched him for Harris. That did not work out. Harris allowed 9 sacks in 500 snaps. Not ideal, but let's see. Tyrese Knight was good, led the team in tackles, TFL 16 for Sweat, sacks 15 for Watkins, 10 for Robinson, only 5.5 for Sweat though. Do we start Burks for the playoffs? Maybe. And picks, we had an okay amount. 3 for Wilson, led the team. But MVP goes to Bo Nix on the Broncos. Interesting. Justin Fields up there. What a top 3. That's something. Oh, that's the same face back to back. But McDermott, number 7, I guess that's fine for how bad the O-line was. AJ Brown takes Offensive Player of the Year. That's cool. McDermott at 9. Watkins at 4 for Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie. Offensive Rookie of the Year, no Vikings, but Watkins does take Defensive Rookie of the Year. I was about to ask, are we going to have any rookies? I forgot about Watkins somehow, even though we just saw him. I do want to see, though, how is AJ Brown doing career-wise, though? Up to 12,500 yards, almost 120 receiving touchdowns. Pretty good. I don't think he's going to break the all-time record. You'd have to get like 7,500 more yards, or no, like 10,000 more yards, right? Isn't it 22,000 for Jerry Rice or something? I don't know. Something like that. Yeah, don't think he's quite hitting that. He'd have to play another 10 years, probably, at least. But all right, let me make a few benches like I was saying. Let's definitely not start Harris for the playoffs. We'll put Powers Johnson back in. And you know what? We will bench Sweat. Let's go with Burks. We'll make Sweat a backup at least. Let's do that for Rush End too. But all right, can we please get our final, not our final playoff win, a playoff win in our final season of Madden 25? Or will we go winless in the final rebuild of Madden 25? That would be fitting, honestly. honestly. I kind of hope that happens. Okay, no, we do get a playoff win against the Saints, 45-24. We kind of smoke them. I guess maybe those benches helped? I see the 7-10 Ravens in the playoffs. I hate this game. I hope simulation is changed for Madden 26. I should know if it is, but I don't. I don't really know anything about Madden 26. I kind of like to go into them blind a little bit. I do know some things, but I sure hope somehow simulation is a little better. I'm sick of seeing 7-10 teams in the playoffs. But can we beat the Lions in the divisional? I kind of just glossed over that. I didn't even mention who we were playing, but you know what? That's fitting. We lose 31-10 to the Lions. But hey, guess what? We built the highest overall team. I did what I could. We drafted well. This was fun. And be sure to come back tomorrow for my first Madden 26 rebuild. Turn on the notifications if you haven't.